Greetings. The main form of exchange in the earliest times of ancient Rome was livestock, bulls and sheep. The term for livestock, pecus, gave rise to the word for money, pecunia. Aulus Gellius, in his Attic Nights, mentioned that in ancient times legal fines were paid in sheep and bulls. Later, in addition to livestock, unrefined copper ingots, erudi, began to be used. These ingots bore no marks to guarantee the purity and weight of the metal and were accepted based on their weight. Eventually, copper was alloyed with small amounts of tin and lead, and images of bulls, boars, birds, tridents, swords, anchors, etc. were stamped onto the resulting ingots. These ingots were called markdaes, signatum. They typically weighed 5 Roman pounds, though this weight was not guaranteed by the state. There was also bronze and silver coinage in circulation, minted in Magna Graecia, that is, in the Greek cities of southern Italy. The most common coins were silver didrachms and drachms, weighing 6.82 grams and 3.41 grams, respectively, minted in the city of Capua. From 338 B.C., this mint was controlled by Rome. The coins minted in Capua were used for foreign trade and had little impact on the domestic market. In 335 B.C., cast bronze coins, known as heavy aces, AES grave, weighing 1 Roman pound, libra, 277.8 grams, appeared. Since the weight of the ingot equaled a Roman pound, these coins were also called libral ace, aes libralis. The alloy consisted of copper mixed with tin and lead. In 286 B.C., the Roman pound was equated with the Greek pound at 327.45 grams. On the obverse of the aes, the two-faced god, Janus, was depicted. There were also smaller denominations in circulation. The semis, 6 ounces, with the obverse depicting the god Saturn or a horseman. The trians, 4 ounces, with the goddess Minerva or her symbols. The quadrans, 3 ounces, with Hercules or his symbols. The sextans, 2 ounces, with Hermes or his symbols, as well as an ingot weighing 1 ounce. This system of cast bronze coins was used for monetary circulation in Rome. For trade with the Greek states of southern Italy, more convenient currency units were needed. Thus, in 280 B.C., the first silver coins of the Roman Republic appeared, minted didrachms, weighing 7.2 grams, later 6.82 grams, and drachms, weighing 3.6 grams. In 269 B.C., shortly before the beginning of the First Punic War, 241 B.C., another monetary reform took place. Rome began minting a silver coin called the denarius, meaning tenor, because its value was equivalent to 10 aces. From 1 Roman pound, 72 denarii were minted, and each coin weighed 4.548 grams, or 4 scruples. The Roman pound was divided into 288 scruples. To equalize the weight of bronze and silver, the weight of the aes was reduced to 4 ounces, and it was called the aes trientalis, meaning equal to a triens, or a third of an ounce. In addition to the denarius, the quinarius was minted, weighing 2 scruples and equal to 5 aces, as well as the sestertius, weighing 1 scruple. After 235 B.C., a new coin, the victoriatus, weighing 3 scruples, 3.41 grams, began to be minted, reportedly at a new mint on the island of Corcyra, Corfu. Denarii were minted primarily for internal circulation, while victoriati were almost exclusively used for foreign trade. The victoriatus, on one hand, was linked to the Roman system, being equivalent to 0.75 of a denarius, while on the other hand, its weight corresponded to the Capuan drachma of 3.41 grams, which served as international currency connecting Rome to major trade centers such as Massilia, Rhodes, and Egypt. Double victoriati and half victoriati were also minted. Outside of Rome, denarii for Spain were minted in the city of Osca for a time. Another monetary reform took place after the start of the Second Punic War, 218-204 BC, in 217 BC. The weight of the denarius was reduced to 1/84th of a pound, 3.90 grams, and the victoriatus was reduced to 2.92 grams. The weight of the aes was fixed at 1 ounce. From this time, 1 denarius was equal to 16 aces, 1 quinarius to 8 aces, and 1 sestertius to 4 aces. By the end of the 2nd century BC, Rome had become the dominant power throughout the Mediterranean, and Roman denarii were now used as international currency. According to the Lex Papiria of 89 BC, the weight of the aes was further reduced to 0.5 ounce. For the Greek-speaking provinces, so-called cistophori were minted, weighing the same as a tetradrachm, a coin familiar to the Greeks. Quite early on, gold began to be used in Rome as a means of wealth accumulation. As early as 357 BC, a 5% tax was introduced in Rome on the price of a slave being granted freedom. This tax, deposited in gold ingots, was placed in the treasury, aerarium, as a special reserve fund. Over time, gold inflows into the aerarium significantly increased. After the First Punic War alone, 65.5 talents of gold were added to the treasury. These revenues enabled the minting of gold coins. In 217 BC, the first gold coins were minted, weighing 1, 2, and 3 scruples, and valued at 20, 40, and 60 sesterces. The obverse depicted the head of Mars and indicated the denomination, 60, 40, and 20, while the reverse featured an eagle on a thunderbolt and the inscription Rome. However, in general, gold coin minting occurred only episodically. Coins were minted by notable generals after significant victories that brought substantial spoils. For instance, in 87 BC, Sulla minted a gold coin weighing 1/36th of a pound while in Greece during the war with Mithridates. Finally, in 46 BC, under the dictatorship of Caesar, the regular minting of gold coins began. This was the aureus nummus, gold coin, weighing 1/40th of a pound of gold, 8.185 grams, and valued at 25 denarii, or 100 sesterces. However, I will tell more about the further history of money in ancient Rome in the next part. Goodbye.